we see a lot of developments in airports and a lot of work in France actually, where airports can almost be hubs for hydrogen due to the different applications in aircraft, refueling, storage. Do you think airports can, in themselves, become hydrogen hubs and expand on these developments? Maybe Alex, we could start with you.
So you're absolutely right. Actually, airports right now is considered as the main concept for hydrogen, building hydrogen infrastructure, not only for aviation, but also for heavy duty trucks and for like a storage huge amount of hydrogen and distribute that hydrogen through smaller hydrogen hubs or refilling stations. And this is the main concept, as I said, and very, very logical because everything starting from airports, especially logistic ways, logistic network, and etc. So it will be very, very logical to install such infrastructure, huge, let's say, hydrogen manufacture or hydrogen storages inside these airports. So yes, I completely support that idea. But at the same time, especially for eVTOL market, so another concept available that you could generate hydrogen in place where you need that hydrogen. For instance, in vertiports, so it's a small airports for eVTOLs or helicopters, where you can generate hydrogen using solar or wind power. So a lot of concept available right now, but the main right now is airport infrastructure as a hydrogen hub.
Yeah, thank you for that, Alex. And it's interesting what you said about the vertiports. We do see a lot of hydrogen-based vertiports appearing across different countries these days. So thank you for that. Maybe I could ask the same question for you, James.
Yeah, sure. I think you will see some airports kind of take on that role as hydrogen as an aviation fuel develops. We've got to remember there are many other industries that want to use clean, green hydrogen. Industrial purposes as well, and this will be looked at as kind of in balance across all these users. Where is it optimal to produce it, and where is the source of energy coming from for that? And for sure, airports will be the right place to do it, depending on specific sort of regional circumstances. This is why it becomes sort of so location specific as to the sort of solutions we're going to see. But there's a finite number of them. Simon sort of talked about that some of the work that FlyZero did to look at alternatives depending on the level of demand, and that's right, we'd agree with that. Outside of aviation, though, there are all these other users that need to be considered, for drawing on hydrogen demand. And certainly at the small scale, we have our own hydrogen ecosystem for our own facilities, right from production of renewable electricity through to refueling the aircraft itself with gaseous hydrogen. So we're already working on how does this work around the airport environment, at least with hydrogen as a gas.
Yeah, thank you, James. That's a great argument there as well. And maybe just to round off this debate, we could ask you the same question, Simon.
Yeah, thanks. So I'd make a couple of points here. I think one is I do see a space for airports to become hydrogen hubs in terms of the aviation sector. And one of my perceptions coming into FlyZero was that we may struggle to convince airports to make substantial infrastructure investments in order to accommodate liquid hydrogen airports. But many of the discussions we had with airports gave quite the opposite view, in that airports are just looking for cases to expand, and they see resistance to this around the globe, particularly in the Western world, when they make a case for significant expansion. Expanding with hydrogen in mind gives a case for real, genuine green expansion, and a number of airports may want to move first in order to get that label and become that aviation hydrogen hub first. And also, to go alongside that, when you use hydrogen, then tankering, carrying more fuel than you need for your particular mission, is less penalising than with kerosene, because hydrogen is simply a more energy dense fuel, so more weight to carry. So a hub can get more use out of there and back missions when you're using hydrogen, and that can help this transitional case when all airports maybe don't switch on liquid hydrogen at the same time. But then the other point I would make is looking across industries. I don't think an airport would be an actual hub in terms of producing hydrogen for other industries on site. I don't think there would be space, and I think the footprint is too expensive to be able to do so. You may have a hub across industries that is close to an airport with a short run gaseous pipeline and transmitting that fuel to the airport, but I don't think you would have the hub producing the hydrogen actually on site, because I don't think that makes economic sense.